When I was 1 year old, my dad hung a rope in my room from the ceiling. The intent was for me to climb it, and I couldn't do it. I was only one, but eventually he put $1 on the ceiling, and I got the dollar. After months of trying, took me a while, but I climbed the ceiling. It was a pretty high ceiling. It was like a 12-foot ceiling. Climbed all the way up, got the dollar. It was the most exciting day of my life up until that point. And from a very young age, I was always fascinated with being strong, being as strong as I could be and being stronger than other people. And it didn't just come from an inherent thing. From a very young age, I was fascinated with Superman and the Hulk and all these superheroes that were super strong, and I loved it because I wanted to be like them. I just loved the idea of being strong and having muscles, and I loved the idea of being stronger than other people, and that's why I loved climbing the rope. And then my dad had me working out from a super young age. He had me doing pull-ups in the doorway and climbing on things and lifting weights. I loved it. I had such a drive to be strong. I was always flexing my muscles, and I was like 2, and then my dad would be like, "Oh my gosh, Troy, your bicep is so big," and it was nothing. But in my mind, it wasn't about what I had at the time. It was that I believed that I was strong. I believed that I had bigger muscles and was stronger than other kids. I believed that I was I was destined to be ripped. I was destined to be jacked. I was destined to have big biceps. I remember dreaming about it. When I was in like first grade, I remember dreaming about having these massive arms, walking around the campus in first grade, busting through my shirt. And it's a little unrealistic for a first grader, but I still wanted it. And I would work so hard in the gym to get that. Because of that, my goals were up here. I wanted a physique that was up here for my age. Shoot for the moon, land among the stars, right? And that's what happened. At 6 years old, my parents put me in gymnastics, and they had a rope that was about 30 feet high. And I think my parents were like, "Hey, he kind of wants to climb the rope. Do you think he can do that?" And the coaches were like, "Yeah, you can try, but he's probably not going to do it." I went all the way to the top, and they were like, "Holy cow." I got invited onto the team to compete. They started training me to be competitive. And then from a young age, I started gravitating towards strength challenges, strength events, strength skills that require strength. In gymnastics, there's skills that require technique. There's skills that require strength. There's skills that require balance and flexibility. I loved the strength skills because I was powerful and strong, and I liked that. If you have a little bit of natural potential and someone tells you you are the strongest and you want to be stronger, that's fuel that's going to feed that drive to make you even stronger. My parents ingrained an ego in my mind that I was stronger than everyone, and every day I knew that I had to work to justify that fact. I identified as someone who was stronger than other kids, that had bigger muscles than other kids. So every day I knew that I had to work to justify that. I had to work to make sure that that was actually true. So that's what I did from a young age. As I got older in gymnastics, I started gravitating towards the rings. The rings are the strength event. I finished my career as a ring specialist competing at the senior national level. But my drive to get stronger, as I got older, I started asking the question, there's got to be other ways to get stronger than other kids. There's got to be more things that I can do to get stronger. So when I was 12 years old, I had a coach, Stephen McCain. There was one day where he gave a class on nutrition and how to eat healthier because he's very high up in the health, biohacking, fitness field. He's very advanced. And at the time, he was just coaching all of us kids on little basic nutrition advice. But I remember I brought a notebook to the class. I still have the notebook. I remember the notes that I took, and I took in everything like a sponge. And then I started asking him questions, and he realized that I started taking in this information. And so he started feeding me more, and I took it in and I applied it. He fed me more, I took it in and I applied it. He was my coach as well. So as I started to grow older and stronger, applying what he taught me, little by little, as I got older, he started feeding me more and more advanced advice. The advice became more advanced. It became more cutting edge. Less people were doing it, which put me that much farther ahead of all my competition. That is what started me learning about health and fitness to an advanced level. He started feeding me super advanced advice at such a young age, which put me so ahead of the curve. This is why I was able to start training people at 13 years old and actually get them results. This is why I was able to do that to myself and get myself results. This is why I was the strongest kid on my team. This is why I was one of the strongest kids in the country as a gymnast. And then of course I was extremely fascinated with all this stuff. I was fascinated with the idea of physical optimization. I wanted to be the best that I could be. I wanted to look the best. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the strongest, the fittest, the fastest. Because if I wasn't and I had an opportunity to be better, then what was I doing? Every single day when we would do conditioning and strength training at the gym, I knew, even from a young age, I remember this, I knew that every single day was an opportunity to get better. And every single day that I didn't do my conditioning, or I skipped a rep, or I skipped an exercise, I was falling behind that much more. I knew for a fact I could not let any potential slip away. Every single rep and exercise and day that I did my conditioning and my strength training, I knew that was my one opportunity to get better that day, to get stronger that day. And with that mindset over time, it put me so far ahead. I was doing strength skills at 16, 17 years old that a lot of athletes don't even do through college. And I was doing strength skills in college and after college that most athletes wouldn't ever do in their career at all. And it started from that foundation, from that belief, justifying that ego that I had and recognizing that every single day is an opportunity and the intense fear of wasting an opportunity every single day. As I started advancing in learning about health, fitness, biohacking, physical optimization, I would absorb everything that Steve would tell me. Everything. I could remember our conversations word for word. But eventually I wanted to learn more on my own. I wanted to have a bit more control over what it is that I learned, so I started doing my own research. This was around 14 years old. I started researching on my own. I got certified as a personal trainer. I am a certified performance enhancement specialist. Although I don't use a lot of that certification knowledge because I knew most of it already. And I did study kinesiology at Penn State. I was excited to study kinesiology because I was excited for it. And a couple of classes were interesting, but honestly, it was a little bit boring for me because most of it, I learned a lot of that when I was a young teenager anyways. It was a little disappointing because I was expecting to learn more. Maybe if I went into a master's program, a graduate program, perhaps, but I didn't really find it benefited me much. Other than my formal education, certification, and studying kinesiology at Penn State, I would read studies and articles all the time. I would read books and I would ask people questions and I would watch YouTube videos, and I was constantly trying to learn more. I was thinking and applying and learning and absorbing everything. I've been doing this for over a decade now. Intense learning and application for 11 years now. That experience in my life up to this point has put me in a position where I feel like I have so much knowledge, so much value to give, that there is no question that I'm not doing what I should be doing. My entire purpose with this, my entire purpose coming onto these platforms and connecting with all of you genuinely is to change lives. My life would be completely different if I didn't know the things that I know. It would be completely different if I wasn't in the shape that I'm in. And so I know for a fact that if I can help even a few of you, if I can impart the knowledge that I have onto you, and if I can help you change your physique, change your health, if I can help you change your physique and change your health, I know for a fact that it will change your life. Health is one of the most valuable things that I have. It doesn't matter how much money I have or how much money I don't have. The cars that I have, the things that I have, my health is one of my most valuable possessions. And I have the opportunity to give that to people. I used to be in another line of business, and it was cool. I was in it for the money, and it was fun. I learned a lot, but I was not serving my purpose. I was not providing real value. I was not providing life-changing value. God made me extremely wealthy in the value that I have. Riches is not just money. It's not just monetary financial value. I'm wealthy beyond words. I'm generationally wealthy beyond words in terms of fitness knowledge, fitness experience, and the ability to help people. I am disgustingly wealthy when it comes to that. God will not put value in your hands or give you the opportunity to acquire that value without the expectation that you will use it for good, that you will use it to glorify Him, that you will use it to improve the lives of other people. God gave me value, and I simply only use it for my own personal gain. Everything that we own, all the value that we have is not ours, it's God's. It's in our hands because of God, and He puts it in our hands. He allows us to have it. He allows us the opportunity to acquire it with the expectation that we will use it to glorify Him and do good. If I only use the value that I have for my own personal gain, what more am I than the wheelchair guys from Wall? Live in their own pleasure on their screen and serve zero purpose other than taking up space. That is a little bit about my purpose, why I do what I do, why I get up every day and I post on these platforms and I post my knowledge. I post out there for free. I want to help you. And just to address something, a lot of people come at me saying, Troy, I just know you're one of those course scammers in the fitness industry selling a course. I don't sell a course. I sell close one-on-one coaching with me directly. A lot of people said, Troy, I know you're just in this for the money. You only look like you do because of your genetics. Well, I've told you my story. I've told you why I look like how I do. I've told you why I know what I know. If I was only in this for the money, this would not be the ideal option. I would probably be a drug dealer instead. If I cared about nothing else and all I cared about was making money, I didn't care about morals, I didn't care about value or helping people, why not be a drug dealer? That's an incredibly lucrative line of business. I would make tons of money. Or let your imagination run free. There's plenty of other things that I could do if I didn't care about actually providing value. A goal of mine is that everybody who watches my videos, everyone who comes in contact with me, everybody who interacts with me at all in any form gets enormous value from that interaction. If you are struggling with fitness and you are struggling with your health, I recommend that you watch my videos, go through all of my content, pay very close attention. I do my best to provide very, very valuable information to all of you that will change your life simply from my content. If you have questions, ask me. John 16:24, ask and you shall receive. The reason I do this is because I get excited about seeing people win. I get excited about seeing client transformations. I hope you do too, especially if it's your own. If you do want closer help, if you do want my one-on-one guidance, DM me on Instagram. DM me the word FIT, F-I-T. I'll reach out to you, we'll have a discussion, and we'll see if my coaching is what's best for you. My first goal is to provide you with value and is to help you achieve your goals. If I determine that my coaching is not what's going to do that for you, I'll tell you, honestly, I'm not going to coach you if I believe I can't help you. Although I also know a lot of people in the industry, I'm happy to refer you elsewhere if you're looking for something that I don't provide. At the very least, you'll likely walk away with something that I gave you for free. And I always just wish you all the best, and I want to see you all win.